Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the part 1 of the acid-base balance interpretation. In this video, we will be discussing about the normal values of each of the parameters in the ABG report, then the acid-base disorders, and how the body responds to each of these disorders. Before interpreting ABG reports, you have to know what are the normal values of each of the ABG parameters. The first one you have to know is about the pH value. The pH value indicates whether the blood is acidic or alkaline. The normal blood pH range is 7.35 to 7.45. If it is less than 7.35, it is called acidemia, more acidic blood. If it is more than 7.45, it is alkalemia, more base is present in the blood. The second parameter is PaCO2, the arterial pressure of the carbon dioxide. It is the respiratory component. It is the respiratory component and it is controlled by lungs. The normal range is 35 to 45 millimeters mercury. Remember these ranges, these are most important thing. If it is less than 35 millimeters mercury, it is called respiratory alkalosis because there is less amounts of carbon dioxide. And if it is more than 45 millimeters mercury, it is respiratory acidosis, high amounts of carbon dioxide. And finally, the third one is the bicarbonate. The bicarbonate is the metabolic component and it is controlled by kidneys. The normal range is 22 to 26 milliequivalents per liter. If it is less than 22 milliequivalents per liter, it is called as metabolic acidosis because there is low amounts of bicarbonate levels. And if it is more than 26 milliequivalents per liter, it is called as metabolic alkalosis. There is high amounts of bicarbonate. So before interpreting any ABG report, the first thing you have to check is pH value. So coming to the types of disorders, we have 4 major types of disorders. That is the metabolic acidosis, metabolic alkalosis, respiratory acidosis, and respiratory alkalosis. Now let's first discuss about the metabolic acidosis. Here the primary defect is decrease in the bicarbonate levels. There is decrease in the bicarbonate levels. Because of that, there will be compensation by increasing the ventilatory rate by the lungs. That is hyperventilation. Because of that, what is going to happen? More carbon dioxide is blown out of the body. And ultimately, that will result in decrease in PaCO2. So the expected rule here for the compensation means PaCO2 falls about 1 millimeter mercury for every 1 millimeter mole decrease in the bicarbonate. So that is what we are saying here. That means when the bicarbonate level decreases by 1 millimoles per liter, the PaCO2 that is supposed to decrease is 1 millimeter mercury. Then there will be sufficient compensation. Now let's talk about the metabolic alkalosis. The primary defect here is increase in the bicarbonate levels. Because of increase in the bicarbonate levels, the compensatory mechanism working here is hypoventilation. The lungs will decrease the ventilatory rate and the CO2 will be retained. Because of that, there will be increase in the PaCO2. So the compensation here is for every 1 millimole per liter of increase in bicarbonate levels, the PaCO2 increase is expected by approximately 0.6 millimeter mercury. That is, if the bicarbonate increase here by 2 millimoles per liter, then how much PaCO2 should increase? It should increase by 1.2 millimeter mercury because 1 millimole per liter should increase 0.6. 2 will increase 1.2 millimeter mercury. That is how the compensation works for the cases of metabolic alkalosis. Now next coming to the respiratory acidosis. In respiratory acidosis, the primary defect is increase in PaCO2. So increase in PaCO2, the compensatory response will be renal retention of the bicarbonate. That is, the kidneys will retain bicarbonate levels. The bicarbonate levels must increase. So how is the compensation? It is of two types. One is the acute compensation, the other is the chronic compensation. In acute compensation, for every 10 millimeter mercury increase of PaCO2, the bicarbonate level should increase by 1 millimole per liter. So that is the acute one. Now coming to chronic one, for every 10 millimeters increase in PaCO2, there should be an increase of 3.5 to 4 millimoles per liter of bicarbonate. So the primary defect here is PaCO2 is increasing. So to compensate that, bicarbonate level has to increase. But how much to increase? For every 10 millimeters mercury of PaCO2, there will be 1 millimole per liter of bicarbonate level should increase if it is acute compensation. If it is chronic compensation, for every 10 millimeters mercury increase of PaCO2, it needs 3.5 to 4 millimoles per liter increase of bicarbonate. So this is the compensation in the respiratory acidosis. Now finally coming to the fourth type of disorder, that is the respiratory alkalosis. In respiratory alkalosis, the primary defect is decrease in the PaCO2. The decrease in PaCO2 is compensated by renal excretion of the bicarbonate. Instead of retention, here the bicarbonate is excreted more so as to decrease the bicarbonate levels. This is the response seen in the case of respiratory alkalosis. And here also the compensation is of two types. One is the acute and other is the chronic. In acute compensation, for every 10 millimeter mercury of decrease in PaCO2, the bicarbonate level should decrease by 2 millimoles per liter. Whereas in the chronic cases, for every 10 millimeters mercury of decrease of PaCO2, there should be decrease of bicarbonate level by 4 to 5 millimoles per liter. So this is the compensatory mechanism for respiratory alkalosis. The compensatory responses that we have discussed in this previous slide has a certain physiological limit. What do you mean by the physiological limit? Let's understand by using the metabolic acidosis first. In metabolic acidosis, the compensation is by the lungs. It will create hyperventilation. Because of that, the PaCO2 will decrease. But there is a limit to how much this PaCO2 can decrease. The maximum achievable PaCO2 via hyperventilation is around 15 millimeters mercury. That's all. Less than 15 millimeters mercury, if you ever see in an ABG report, that means we can consider it as a mixed disorder. The maximum the lungs can reduce the PaCO2 level is up to 15 millimeters per mercury. Now coming to metabolic alkalosis, here also the compensation is by lungs. Here by causing hypoventilation, by decreasing the respiratory rate, increases the PaCO2. But there is a limit to how much PaCO2 level can be increased. The maximum achievable PaCO2 via hypoventilation is 50 millimeters mercury. Hypoventilation also, that means slow breathing. It cannot be continued forever. At a certain point of time, there will be hypoxia. So by the time it reaches a level of hypoxia, the maximum that it can attain is 50 millimeters mercury. If a PaCO2 is higher than the expected, that is more than 50 millimeters mercury, then you have to suspect a mixed disorder. Now coming to the third condition, that is the respiratory acidosis. In respiratory acidosis, the problem is increase in PaCO2, which is usually due to hypoventilation caused by conditions such as COPD or airway obstruction or respiratory depression. In these cases, the kidneys will help in compensation. How are they going to compensate? By increasing the retention of the bicarbonate levels. But this retention of the bicarbonate levels also has a limit. It can retain only up to 32 milliequivalents per liter. If bicarbonate retention is more than 32 milliequivalents per liter as a compensation, then consider it as a mixed disorder. Now finally coming to the last disorder, that is the respiratory alkalosis. Here the disorder is because of hyperventilation, and this is compensated by the kidneys via renal excretion of the bicarbonate and retention of the protons, that is the acids. This excretion of bicarbonate, or because of this, whatever bicarbonate that has been excreted, whatever the amount is remaining, that remaining amount cannot be less than 15 milliequivalents per liter. That is minimum achievable bicarbonate concentration by excretion of the bicarbonate by the kidneys is 15 milliequivalents per liter. If it is less than 15 milliequivalents per liter, then you have to suspect a mixed disorder. So that is the compensatory responses limits for each of the 4 disorders. So you have to remember these limits. For metabolic acidosis, the minimum achievable PaCO2 is 15 millimeters mercury. Whereas in metabolic alkalosis, the maximum achievable PaCO2 is 50 millimeters mercury. Whereas in respiratory acidosis, the maximum achievable bicarbonate concentration is 32 milliequivalents per liter. And finally, the minimum achievable bicarbonate concentration in the respiratory alkalosis is 15 milliequivalents per liter. So through this first part of the ABG interpretation, you know what is the normal values of the ABG parameters in an ABG report. The most commonly seen things are pH, PaCO2 and bicarbonate. After this, you will be diagnosing what is the condition seen. It is a metabolic acidosis or metabolic alkalosis. Is it respiratory acidosis or respiratory alkalosis? After that, how much is the compensation? How is it happening? What is the mechanism? And what is the limit of each of these compensations? This is what you have learned in this video. In the next video, we will be discussing about the 6 steps of ABG report interpretation.